If you think your worst betrayal came from a friend, wait till you hear how my parents tried to snatch the home I bought with my own sweat. Welcome back to Baddie Fiction, the channel where real mess, real drama, and real-life plot twists hit harder than any Netflix series. Buckle in, because today's story, it's wild. My name's Avery Lane, and the day I bought my first home should have been the happiest moment of my life. 6 years of grinding, skipping vacations, packing sad little Tupperware lunches, freelancing on weekends, every dollar I scraped together went into one thing: freedom. And in the US, nothing screams freedom like holding the keys to your own front door. I remember standing in the driveway, sun on my face, a mix of paint fumes and freshly cut grass hitting me, as I turned the key in the lock for the very first time. I'd done it. Me. No help, no shortcuts, no handouts. But by the next morning, I wasn't celebrating. I was staring at legal papers with my name typed in bold like some kind of criminal. And the people suing me were my own parents. Yep. Welcome to my life. Growing up with Martin and Elaine Lane was like living under a very strict, very dramatic monarchy. Dad's voice was law. Mom's guilt trips were enforcement. My little sister Jessa was the royal favorite, the delicate one, the creative one, the one who needed more support. Translation: she got everything. I learned to survive on silence. So I kept my head down and worked. Engineering degree, 2 promotions, side projects. I stacked my own bread because no one was stacking it for me. When I finally told my family I had enough for a down payment, Mom acted like I just announced I'd cured cancer. "Oh, honey, we're so proud," she said, lighting candles like it was a holiday. Dad just nodded with that military seriousness. Real estate is smart, don't mess it up. Then, Jessa rolled her eyes in that slow, entitled way she'd perfected. "Must be nice," she muttered, swirling her iced coffee. "Some of us are still drowning in student loans." I tried to play it cool. "You're doing great at your firm. You'll get there." But she didn't care. Jessa never wanted to get there. She wanted things handed to her, wrapped in gold paper. I ignored her attitude. I toured houses, drove through quiet neighborhoods at night, imagining finally having a place where no one controlled my every move. When I found a cozy 2-story home on a quiet cul-de-sac, it wasn't perfect, but it felt like mine. I didn't know I had just stepped onto a battlefield. I didn't know my own family was sharpening knives behind my back. And I definitely didn't know the house I bought with my own hard-earned money was the exact thing they thought belonged to Jessa. But the real shock didn't come from the lawsuit. It came from the lie my sister blasted across social media that turned my entire town against me. My second night in my new home should have been peaceful. Me, a half-built IKEA shelf, and a cold slice of pizza. But instead, my phone started buzzing like it owed someone money. At first I ignored it. I was sweaty, dusty, still holding a screwdriver I'd already dropped on my foot twice. Then, my best friend Marlo texted, "Avery, girl, check this now." My stomach dropped. When Marlo texts in all caps, it's never good news. She sent a screenshot. It was a public post from my sister Jessa, dramatic, long, sprinkled with fake sadness like glitter. "When your own sister steals the money Grandma left for your first home and buys one for herself instead. Hashtag betrayed. Hashtag family should know better. Hashtag living a real-life nightmare." Hundreds of likes, dozens of comments. Strangers calling me selfish. People I went to high school with talking trash like they'd been waiting their whole lives. My throat tightened. I read it again slower, thinking maybe I misread something. Nope. She straight up accused me of stealing imaginary inheritance money that has never existed. Before I could even call Marlo, my phone lit up again. Dad calling. I hesitated, then picked up. "Avery." His voice was cold, clipped, like he was talking to a misbehaving employee. "We need to discuss the situation with the house." "What situation?" I asked. Mom's voice chimed in faintly from the background. "Sweetheart, you know exactly what this is about." "No." I said firmly. I don't. Dad sighed dramatically. We've spoken to an attorney. The funds your grandmother intended for Jessa's first home were meant to go to her. You knew that. I sat down on the floor, the phone slipping a little in my grip. Dad, what are you talking about? There was never any designated fund. I bought the house with my money. I have every single receipt, every deposit. Silence. Then he said the line that cracked something in me forever. That house belongs to your sister. My heart slammed so hard I felt it in my teeth. Dad, this is insane. There is no fund, no agreement, nothing. You're being difficult, he snapped. Your sister needs that home more than you do. She's been planning for it, and now you've taken it. She never told me she even wanted this house. That doesn't matter, he said. We're filing in court tomorrow. I almost dropped the phone. You're taking me to court? Mom's disappointed voice slid through the receiver. We just want to do right by Jessa. You can buy another one. Another one. As if 6 years of sacrifice could be repeated like picking up toilet paper from Walmart. The call ended. No goodbyes. Just betrayal. That night, Marlo showed up with Chinese takeout and coconut water like I'd just escaped a war. Behind her came Asher, her cousin and a paralegal who had helped me with paperwork before. Avery, he said, serious, they're not bluffing. Your family's getting ready for an actual legal fight. I didn't sleep. I didn't cry. I just sat there in shock, trying to understand how my own parents decided I was disposable. But the real chaos hadn't even started yet, because 2 nights later, we caught Jessa on my porch trying to break into the house she swore was hers. 2 nights after the lawsuit bomb dropped, I went back to my house with Marlo to grab a few things. I wasn't living there for the moment, not while my parents were gearing up to sue me, but I needed clothes, documents, and honestly, a little courage. The cul-de-sac was quiet, streetlights humming, the kind of calm night where you can hear your own footsteps. But when we turned the corner onto my driveway, Marlo grabbed my arm so fast she almost dislocated it. Avery. Girl. Someone's on your porch. My chest tightened. There was a silhouette leaning over my door, hands shaking, body hunched, and then I saw it. A shiny silver key jammed into my lock. Jessa? I yelled, "What are you doing?" She jerked so fast she nearly fell off the porch. She straightened up, eyes wide and wild. She tried to play it cool, but her voice cracked. I just wanted to look around inside. By breaking in? I snapped. It's gonna be my house anyway. She threw back, crossing her arms like a bratty teenager instead of a grown woman. I stepped up the first stair, shaking with disbelief and fury. Where did you even get that key? She lifted her chin. Mom gave me one. She said I'd need it soon. Marlo whispered, "Oh, she's actually lost her mind." I couldn't even respond. I just stared at my sister. This person who genuinely believed she was the rightful full owner of something she didn't pay a single cent for. Jessa wasn't sorry. She wasn't confused. She was entitled. Deeply, disturbingly entitled. Get off my porch, I said through clenched teeth. She stomped away like a toddler who didn't get candy. But halfway down the driveway, she turned and hissed, "You're ruining everything. You always ruin everything. Mom and Dad said you'd do this." Then she got into her car and screeched off into the night. Marlo just looked at me. Avery, she's unwell. Like, legally unwell. But Asher, he was furious. This is attempted unauthorized entry. You know that, right? This is evidence. Evidence? I croaked. Yes, evidence that she thinks she already owns your home. And trust me, that matters in court. I didn't want to weaponize it. I didn't want a war. But they were dragging me into one anyway. The next morning, Asher had already set up a meeting with a property and inheritance expert, Vivian Hale, a lawyer with the kind of reputation that made opposing attorneys break out in stress rashes. Her office looked like the place where millionaires get divorced. Glass walls, muted colors, zero nonsense. Vivian listened to everything quietly. Jessa's post, the lawsuit, the fake inheritance story, the break-in attempt. She didn't interrupt once. When I finished, she tapped her pen softly on her notepad. Your parents' claim is weak. Fabricated, really. But weak claims can still create chaos if they become emotional battles. We need to gather every scrap of proof that this house was purchased entirely from your earned income. I have it, I said. Every deposit, 6 years worth. Good. Now we need witnesses. People who know